Sooner Scoop HD.
Josh McCuistion of SoonerScoop.com here for, I guess, kind of like a final interview with Jacob Sexton. Kind of crazy to think about it that way. But a guy that we've been watching since he's a sophomore. And now, Jake, I mean, we're here at Deer Creek practice and you're not actually taking part. Man, how surreal is it kind of being, you know, a sign that things are kind of coming to an end here?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. It's weird not being out there with everybody, but just thinking about the future and what I'm going to be doing is really exciting, and you know, I can't wait. I think we got about 10 days, so I'm looking forward to it.
I know tomorrow's the last day of school. You know, it just, that stuff's always just so surreal for seniors when you start kind of really facing it. You know, for you though, I mean, you have such an immediate. It's not all summer I got to think about what I'm going to do. You immediately, you know, arrive at OU, get into workouts. Now, have you talked to some of your guys in your class that have already started going through Coach Schmidt's stuff? I mean, are they warning you if this is going to be terrible this summer?
Oh, I mean, at the beginning they were all pouting and stuff, but at this point they're all loving it. They're digging the grind, and you know, they're just working right now, and so that's exciting to see that everybody around myself is going to be you know, pushing just like I am, and so that's great to see.
Now, I see you just standing here. I mean, it looks like you've been working on your own. Now, did OU send you something? I mean, have you been working through some of their stuff, or what's that kind of been like?
Yeah, I've been doing their workout. So I work out twice a day, and you know, just eating healthier, getting some running in the afternoon as an offensive lineman. Kind of ironic, but definitely necessary. So working out and running, two big things. So
okay. Now, you and I obviously have talked, but I mean, it's the first time I've, you know, kind of been able to put you on camera in a little while. For, you know, the people at home, I mean, obviously a lot changed from, you know, I guess really from the time you committed until where we stand now. What was that like? Well, you were kind of going through. I mean, I hate to go back so far, but I mean, it's just an interesting topic to kind of, you know, where you were, what your thought process was, and kind of how that was handled by you all.
Yeah, it was crazy right off the bat. Just beginning of recruitment, then making my top 5, that made it a whole lot easier to focus on those schools. And then finally OU. Then the coaching staff change there was definitely a wild card, but you know, you just got to deal with it and just sit through it and see what happens. And that's what I was telling everybody else, is just stick with it and go from there. But you know, I love the new staff, and I can't wait. I think it's perfect for me. Yeah.
Through that change, I mean, were there a lot of schools that reached back out, or were they a little more like, let's see what happens with, you know, obviously with Coach B staying, I kind of wondered if some were like, he'll still be in.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely a handful of schools that were reaching back out, at least just seeing where my head was, but you know, nothing like OU. So.
Sure. Well, I've got to think, and it's certainly, you know, nothing against the previous staff, but Coach Levy being a former offensive line, I mean, that's got to, I'm guessing he's fit you pretty well.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a great guy, and I just think all their minds seem to work a lot better as a whole staff. So I think it's going to be perfect going in there and just figuring out what I need to do and to help the team and everything. So it's going to be great.
Okay. Well, now you signed in December. What have you been? Did you wrestle this year?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. How did that go? I guess I missed some of that.
Yeah, it was good. I got third.
Okay.
And then threw shot and disc, won discus at state. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, 2-time state champion discus. So happy with that for sure.
Now, is that something like you grew up doing? You and I have talked about track before, but I don't really know. I mean, is that something you did as a kid, or I guess as much as any kid does that?
Yeah. Yeah. So I started in 7th grade. That was first year that we could do it, and they're just kind of like, "Hey, you're big. Come throw some things." And
sure.
You know, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. It's you find a lot of enjoyment, and just in the distance and beating your records that you previously set, and so I thought it was fun. So I just stuck with it, and turned out pretty good for me. So.
Okay. Now, I'm a huge wrestling fan, so it really does shame me a little bit that I wasn't more aware of your situation. But I always like to ask guys that have that background, like, how much does that help you when you're on the football field? I mean, I know people always talk about, you know, do one sport or focus on that. And obviously you put a lot of time into football, but there is clearly a lot of focus from you in other sports as well. Does wrestling really aid you a lot in your day-to-day stuff in football?
Oh, there's definitely some physical parts of it, like balance and leverage, learn all that. But I'd say number one key thing is just the mentality that you get from it. Just learning to never back down on anything, and really any situation you're in, there's always going to be a way out. So you just got to work for that and get used to the suffering. Get through it. So
okay. Well, and like I said, this is kind of a last interview before you go, because you will be shut off from all media. You don't even have to do this stuff anymore, man. At least for a little while, anyway. But I guess as you look back on your career at Deer Creek, I mean, where you guys were when you arrived and to finish like you did last year. I mean, is that something that's always going to be just a source of pride that, you were part of a senior class that did a lot for Deer Creek?
Oh, absolutely. Looking out there now, there's just so many kids out there, and, I think that's really cool to kind of be an inspiration to those people and be part of the whole team that, went furthest in Deer Creek, Deer Creek's gone in history in 6A. So, hopefully they one-up us, but definitely cool to be a part of that.
Sure. And, as you look forward at Oklahoma, I mean, you start thinking about, things you want to accomplish, whether it's short-term, long-term. I mean, what are some things that are really important to you that you want to, like I said, could be next year, could be, what are kind of your goals for your time at Oklahoma?
I don't really know any full set goals, but I would say just to learn something every day and hold on to that, because that's a whole lot of knowledge you can learn, and just going into the next level of everything. It's always good to have knowledge behind you.
Sure.
So,
now I know you're going to room with Jake Taylor. I got to specify, it's crazy. Now, is he already talking? I mean, like, you guys feel like fishing buddies. Like you're going to be out, like outdoors, like that kind of deal. Is he already hitting you up for the right places to go, the kind of honey holes and that good stuff?
Oh yeah, we already got some spots. We got about 10. So
okay.
So we're good within 5 minutes of campus. So.
Oh, you've worked out in Norman too.
Yep,
Nice. Well, okay. Well, I guess, and just kind of as a final question, I always like to ask recruits that, especially like you, that really were at a high level, went through a lot of different things. What was it like? I mean, what's it like for the people that have never experienced it? I mean, never really been close to it. How chaotic was it? How, fun was it at times? I mean, what were the things that I think you'll remember about the whole process?
Definitely just the craziness at the beginning and the stress of the whole recruitment process. But then you really learn to enjoy that part of it. And understand that all the stress is good. It's a whole bunch of opportunities that you can close in on, and so I would just say that it was crazy, fun, and very fast moving. So,
kind of can't believe you're already at this point.
Oh yeah, yep.
Well, again, this has been Josh McCuistion of Soonerscoop.com here with Jake Sexton of Deer Creek.
Sooner Scoop HD.